I want to share with you a big secret today, and it's not one that a lot of you are going to want to hear. But at the same time, it's so important that I have to tell you. That secret is, what if I told you that every single day kids go to school and then become less intelligent? Now, how could that be possible? And when kids go to school, they learn things right and they accumulate more knowledge. So, if anything, they should be getting smarter. How could they possibly be getting less intelligent? What am I talking about? Well, I do hope that to illustrate that to you today. Before I turned 14, I was a kid that didn't know what he wanted in life. So usually when you go up to a 5 or 6 years old and you ask him, what do you want to be when you grow up? He'll say, an astronaut or a businessman. He wanted to be a professional Call of Duty player. And since I had no idea about what I wanted to be when I grew up, I just listened to my parents almost 100% of the time. I trusted that they knew what was best for me. My parents wanted out of me what any typical parent would want out of his child. Go to parent, keep up your grades, get out and exercise one every few years. And I was trying to do everything that they asked of me. Except the problem was I wasn't even that good at school. I was terrible at science, couldn't write a 5 paragraph essay if my life had depended on it. And to this day, I still think that I'm the only Asian kid in the world who does not understand math. And I really do. But when I turned 14, that all changed. I was no longer this hot air balloon floating around in space. I was now like a supersonic jet flying toward my destination at 50,000 miles an hour or however fast those things go. This change all started when I received an envelope with the mail. It was an invitation not to a birthday party. I did not get any of those, not to a playground, but to a business plan competition down in Boston. And I was just so curious that I had to go. The program director explained to us that over 5 months we would form a team, develop a business idea, and present this idea to a panel of judges who would be judging us how good our suits are and how good our business ideas were. And a long story short, over those 5 months, I formed a team, developed an idea, and we actually ended up winning that competition and taking home a check. And that one event sparked my interest for going to more and more of these competitions. Over the next 2 years of my life, I actually went to dozens and dozens of these competitions, and I was winning almost all of them. And I realized that I liked going to them so much, not just because I liked winning them, but also because I had an unrealized passion. There was a passion for creating things. Because the one thing that my team would do differently from our other competitors every single time was, well, everyone would go up and present their ideas and their PowerPoint. We would go to Home Depot, buy supplies, and actually build an idea we were talking about. And the judges were so blown away by the fact that a bunch of teenagers could go and create things, can make prototypes and medium viable products. We won almost every single competitions, and just because the judges loved that we had gone and executed. At one of these competitions, I met a short-tempered, middle-aged, polished guy named Frank. If he's here today, I better run after this. He came up to us, took a look at a prototype, and said, I can help you guys turn it into a real comedy. Think about that. Isn't that cool? We are 16 years old and we are going out into the world and creating a real hardware technology startup. And at first we were like, it's time to be Steve Jobs. Let's go build Apple, dropping out of school now. But we quickly realized it's not that easy. So don't drop out unless you're really sure you have a good idea. But we realized that the first part to building a great company is to assemble a great team. And as students, we could go to bars to network, to networking events for adults. So we went to our school and set up this little presentation in our auditorium in which we would present our idea and hopefully kids would join our team. We sent out an invitation to our entire school, and the first thing we noticed is that almost no one showed up and there was no interest. And those who did show up spread the rumor around the school, and throughout that week, we were actually mocked. We were made fun of for our ideas and for being wannabe Mark Zuckerberg. What's funny is the next week after, we took the exact same presentation and did it at our elementary school, so to kids who were 6 years younger, and the response was phenomenal. These kids were throwing their lunch money at us, asking if they could buy a prototype. They was asking for our pre-money valuation, which I know you guys know from watching Shark Tank, but it was amazing that these kids even know terms like that existed when they were still young to even probably pronounce some of these words. That just inspired me so much. And I think this is what our education system has done. Over just 5 to 6 years in education system, these creative children have turned into these teenagers and they are unwilling to think outside of the box. So let's go back to that secret I was talking about. How is it possible that school is making kids less intelligent? The fact is, there's no such more than just one type of intelligence. While school make you more academically intelligent, it can teach you physics, algebra, calculus, and this demonstrates them to think in a certain way, to go down in a certain path in life. It's telling them go to high school, get diploma, go to good college, find a stable job, and if you don't do that, you won't be successful. And if that was true, how I am even standing here today? How did I, a strange C student, start a technology company at the age of 16? And how is my company, which was featured on a Wall Street Journal last week, doing better than some of the companies started by Harvard or Stanford graduates? It must be something that can be measured by academic intelligence alone. Parents, teachers, educators, you have the power to influence and inspire youth. The fact is, there are way too many people out there right now who are obsessed with telling kids to go to college, to find a good job, to be successful. And there are not enough who are telling kids to explore more possibilities, to become entrepreneurs. And if there's one message that I want parents, kids, and all of you to take away from what I've said here today, is that you can open your own doors, that you can stray away from this conventional, limited, and narrow path that education sets as a point. You can diverge and create your own future. You can start your own companies and start your own nonprofits. You can create and you can innovate. And if there's one message that I want you to take away from this, everything I've said, it is this: no one has ever changed the world by doing what the world has told them to do. Thank you.